Okay, so welcome back to your biology class. And before puja vacation, I was continuing the chapter photosynthesis in higher plants. And today I will continue the chapter with the C4 pathway. In my last class, I have discussed about the C3 pathway, which is also called as Kelvin cycle. And you know what happened in that particular case, that carbon dioxide is fixed, and first intermediate product was the 3 carbon compound, that was the 3PGA, and that is why it was considered as C3 cycle. Now I have written another term, that is C4 pathway. Okay. So what are the differences between C3 and C4 pathway? Already I have mentioned, I am repeating it again, that in the C4 pathway, why it is called as C4 pathway? Because first intermediate product of carbon fixation is a 4 carbon compound, that is oxaloacetic acid. Okay, that is oxaloacetic acid. It is a 4 carbon compound, and that is why it is called as C4 pathway. So in which type of plants this C4 pathway can be seen? It can be found mainly in the plants of dry tropical region, which can face high temperature and high light intensity. Such examples are sugarcane, maize. In this type of particular plants, this C4 pathway can be seen, where the first carbon dioxide fixation product is a 4 carbon compound, that is oxaloacetic acid. Okay, now what are the differences can be found in between C3 and C4 plants? The C4 plants are special. Why they are special? Because they are having some special leaf anatomy. Now if they can tolerate a high temperature, and they can show response in high light intensities. Okay, and another thing, they lack a mechanism that is called as photorespiration. So what is photorespiration? Till you don't know, after this C4 cycle I will discuss about photorespiration. So why C4 plants are special? First one, they are having a special leaf anatomy. They can tolerate high temperature and high light intensity, and they are not having the photorespiration pathway. And last one is their productivity is high. That means they have greater productivity of biomass. Now, if you see a vertical section of C3 leaf of a C3 plant, and if you compare it with a vertical section of a leaf of a C4 plant, then you will find some differences. So what are they? In the C3 plant's leaf, you will find the mesophyll cells, but in case of C4 plants, that large cells around the vascular bundles of C4 pathway, a special type of cells can be found, which is called as bundle sheath cells. Okay, which is called as bundle sheath cells. And this type of anatomy, that means first the mesophyll cells are present, and under this bundle sheath cells are present. Why this type of position is there? Because in that for the Kelvin cycle, it is required that as these plants can be found in high temperature and high light intensities, but for C4 C3 pathway, that means for occurring Kelvin cycle, for the formation of star, that quite low temperature and light intensity is required. That's why the bundle sheath cell will be in inner side. Okay, so that Kelvin cycle can take place inside the bundle sheath cell, and this type of special anatomy is called as Kranz anatomy. And what is the meaning of Kranz? Meaning of the Kranz means wrist. Okay, so Kranz anatomy can be found in case of C4 plants, which cannot be found in case of C3 plants. That means the bundle seed cells can form several layers around the vascular bundle, and they are also characterized by having large number of chloroplasts, thick walls which is impervious to gaseous exchange, and also intercellular spaces are also absent. Okay, so now if you cut the leaves of a C4 plants like sorghum, maize, so you will find that this type of Kranz anatomy and this type of distribution of the mesophyll cells. Now, so these are the differences in anatomy which is related with the leaf anatomy. So now you have to know the pathway of the C4 cycle. For that, I will suggest everyone to open your book and open page number 1219, and there you will find the full pathway. Okay, it will be better if you check it from the book. So there you can find first the mesophyll cell and below that bundle seed cell. So what is the first pathway? That primary carbon dioxide acceptor. So first what will happen? Carbon dioxide, atmospheric carbon dioxide will bind with water, and they will form a carbonic, that means H2CO3, and it will be dissociated and it will bind with phosphoenol pyruvate. That means first we have to fix the atmospheric carbon dioxide. So the primary carbon dioxide acceptor is a 3-carbon molecule whose name is PEP. And what is the full form of PEP? Phosphoenol pyruvate. So phosphoenol pyruvate, which is present in the mesophyll cells, and it is the first carbon dioxide acceptor molecule in case of C4 pathway. Okay, then what will happen? In the mesophyll cell, Rubisco enzyme is absent. Okay, and for this the C4 acid or oxaloacetic acid is formed in the mesophyll cell, because as you know, for the Scalpin cycle Rubisco enzyme is required, but in case of C4 plants leaves, in the mesophyll cell the Rubisco enzyme is absent. That's why it is converted into oxaloacetic acid. Now this oxaloacetic acid will convert into malic acid or aspartic acid, and then in the mesophyll cell itself, then it will pass to the below where the bundle seed cells are present. Okay, now in the bundle seed cells, the C4 acids are broken down to release carbon dioxide and 3-carbon molecule, which is pyruvic acid. You can see in that diagram that in the bundle seed cell, the C4 acid is transported into the bundle seed cell where the decarboxylation has been taken place. Decarboxylation means decarboxylation. One carbon molecule will be removed as carbon dioxide. So by decarboxylation, carbon dioxide will be released and C4 acid will be broken down into 3-carbon molecule. Now this CO2 will be fixed by the Calvin cycle and the formation of the starch, or as you know, what was the main aim of the plant, that will be fulfilled by the bundle seed cells. Now this C3 acid again will be transported back to the mesophyll cell. Okay, will be transported back to the mesophyll cell where it will be converted into PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate again. Okay, and thus it is forming a cycle. That's why this cycle is called as C4 cycle, or it is having an alternative name which is called as Hatch and Slack pathway by the discovery of these scientists. Okay, so now you can see that CO2 will enter into the bundle seed cell and enters the C3 cycle or Calvin cycle, which is common to all plants, and bundle cells are having the enzyme ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, one can be written in short as Rubisco, which can be written in short as Rubisco, but in the bundle seed cell they lack peptidase enzyme. So peptidase enzyme was present in the mesophyll cell, which helped in the fixation of the carbon dioxide with the pyruvate PEP, and Rubisco enzyme is present in the bundle seed cell. That's why the Calvin cycle is occurring in the bundle seed cell, and ultimately the result is formation of the sugar. Okay, so that Calvin cycle is common for the C3 and C4 pathway. Difference is that they are having some different structures there. In case of C4 pathway, the Calvin cycle is occurring in that one. Okay, so with that you have came to know that there are many differences between C3 and C4 cycle. So now you have to find out what are the differences between C3 and C4 cycle. So when you will read it, after that you can find it very easily. So in the next page there is a table number 13.1. There you have to fill the table, and by filling it you will be able to find out the differences between C3 and C4 plants. So I will suggest you everyone to try to fill it at your home. So today I will not discuss it. I want you everyone to try it first. In my next class I will tell you all the answers. Okay, but I think you will be able to do it by your own if you read the C3 cycle and C4 cycle properly. Okay, so everyone try it first. So next topic is photorespiration. So another new term you have to know, that is photorespiration. So what is the meaning of this term? You know, if I split it, you will find two terms, that is photo and respiration. You know the meaning of photo. Photo means light, and you also know the meaning of respiration. Why it is called so, and what happens in this particular case? Now I will discuss this one. So if you want to difference between C3 and C4 plants, this photorespiration is another point which can make differences between these two. So for understanding this photorespiration, you have to know that the first step of Calvin cycle. You can remember, if you can't just check it from the book, what was the first step in Calvin cycle? That is the CO2 fixation step. And what happens in this particular step? That RUBP combines with carbon dioxide to form two molecules of PGA, and an enzyme was helping or catalyzing in that particular reaction, that is Rubisco. So what was the reaction? RUBP plus CO2, enzyme Rubisco, and what we will get? Two molecules of 3-PGA. That was the first step of Calvin cycle, that is fixation of carbon dioxide. So in this particular step you can see that this reaction is catalyzed by an enzyme which is called as Rubisco, and Rubisco is the most abundant enzyme in the world. Okay, so that is a very important short question, that which enzyme is the most abundant enzyme in the world. So the answer is Rubisco. Rubisco is the most abundant enzyme in the world. Why? Because as you can remember, already you have read in the biochemistry part, that is the enzymes, and enzymes are having catalytic active site where the substrates can bind, and after that they will make a enzyme substrate complex, and after that they will form a product, and enzymes and product will be released, right? So that Rubisco is having active site for both CO2 and O2. That Rubisco is having the active site for both CO2 and O2. Now this is having a this can be considered as competitive. Okay, you can remember that enzymes having this type of characteristics, competitive, non-competitive, like that. That means this type of special binding is called as competitive because they will compete with each other. That means which one will bind at the active site of this particular Rubisco enzyme. Now, how will you define that when this carbon dioxide will bind or when the oxygen will bind? So, Rubisco has much greater affinity for carbon dioxide than O2. So, greater affinity for carbon dioxide. If you consider these two together, then you will find that Rubisco has greater affinity for carbon dioxide than oxygen. Okay, now how it will be determined that when it will bind, that it is on the relative concentration of oxygen and carbon dioxide that determines which one of the two will bind with the enzyme. As it is a competitive binding, so their relative concentration of carbon dioxide and relative concentration of oxygen will determine which one will bind with the particular active site of this particular enzyme. Now, in some C3 plants, what happens? Oxygen binds with the Rubisco, and hence CO2 fixation is decreased. If the active site is occupied, by the oxygen, then CO2 will not be able to bind with the active site. Now, if CO2 will not be able to bind with the active site, then what will happen? Then the fixation of carbon dioxide will not take place. So, it can be found mainly in the C3 plants. What happens in the C3 plants? That oxygen binds with the Rubisco and carbon dioxide fixation will be decreased. And in the normal one, RUBP is converted into 2 molecules of PGA, but if it binds to oxygen, then it will convert it into 1 molecule of phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate. So just try to understand this part, that naturally in the Kelvin cycle CO2 will be fixed and 2 molecules of 3-PGA will be formed only when the Rubisco enzyme binds with CO2. But if Rubisco enzyme binds with oxygen, then it will not convert into 2 molecules of PGA, and ultimately the glucose will not be formed. Instead of that, 1 molecule of phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate will be formed, and this pathway is called as photorespiration. Okay, so what is the products of photorespiration? That is 1 molecule of phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate. Okay, so you can see that in this photorespiration pathway there is neither synthesis of sugars nor ATP or NADPH. So in the normal Kelvin cycle we have got ultimately we get sugar, ATP and NADPH, but in this photorespiratory pathway ATP is not produced. Instead of that, ATP is utilized and carbon dioxide is produced in this particular photorespiration. So, in this particular pathway, ATP and NADPH will not be produced and sugar will not be formed. So what will why this pathway is occurring? So it is not having any use, so we can call it that it is the wasteful process. That is why it is called as wasteful process, because our aim was to form sugar, ADP and NADPH, but when the Rubisco enzyme binds with oxygen, it is not forming those substances which are required, and that is why it is called as wasteful process. Now I have mentioned that in C4 plants photorespiration does not occur. Why? Because they have mechanism by which they can increase the CO2 concentration. Now if CO2 concentration increases, then the Rubisco enzyme will not bind with the oxygen, so the photorespiration will not take place. So where and when they are increasing CO2, you have already seen in the C4 pathway that in the bundle seed cell, the C4 acid, after that in the bundle seed cell, C4 acid is broken down into carbon dioxide. That means at the time of decarboxylation, and it will be converted into C3 acid. So in turn, it ensures that Rubisco function as carboxylase and minimizes oxygenase activity. Okay, now we can call that C4 plants lack photorespiration. So that is why I have also mentioned a term that it is the productivity and yields are better in these plants. Why? Because of that. Because in the C4 pathway photorespiration is not taking place. Okay, and that is why the yield is quite high. So let me summarize this, that what is photorespiration? That Rubisco enzyme is having active site for both carbon dioxide and oxygen. Usually what is our requirement, not only our, what are the requirements of plants, that is starch, ATP and NADPH. And these starch, ATP and NADPH can be formed only by the Calvin cycle, and for that Rubisco enzyme is in the active site of the Rubisco enzyme, carbon dioxide must be founded. But in C3 plants what happens, it in the active site of the Rubisco, oxygen binds, and instead of working as carboxylase, it is working as oxygenase. Okay, and instead of formation of glucose, ATP and NADPH, it is forming phosphoglycerate and phosphoglycolate, right? So it is the total wasteful process. But in case of C4 plants, as it is producing the CO2 by the at the time of formation of C4 acid to C3 acid, and due to the increment in the amount of carbon dioxide, Rubisco will bind with carbon dioxide and it will show only its carboxylase activity, it will not show its oxygenase activity. That is why in the C4 pathway we will get better yield and it will help the plant. Okay, so that is all about photorespiration and C4 pathway. So with that we are completing this part. In my next class I will discuss about the differences between C3 and C4 plant and the factors affecting photosynthesis. So up to this portion clear everyone? Any doubt? Okay, so thank you and bye bye everyone.